right, everyone. If you can hear me, wave your hands, touch your head, touch your nose, touch your chin. Just kidding. But I do hope you came on here to have some fun. I am super excited to host this tonight. My name is Jodi Schebe, and I live in San Diego, California, and I have been drinking and sharing ketones for the past 4.5 years because they literally have rocked my world. So tonight, we got 38 people on here. This is awesome. Let's see if we can get over 50. So tonight, if you got an invite to this call, it's because first of all, somebody cares about you. Second of all, they are pretty darn excited about this ketone technology. So you're going to be hearing a little bit about what are ketones, how do they work, why would you drink them, what can they do for you, how can you get them for free, etc. So I'd love to see in the chat. I see all these beautiful faces on. Hi, Heather. Hi, Mitch. Hi, Carrie. Hi, Jamie. This is awesome. If you're new to Zoom, I mean, not anybody is really new to Zoom anymore, right? Over the past 1.5 years. But if you are fairly new to Zoom, we also have a chat box. Why don't we blow up in the chat? Let me know where you are watching from. And I'd love to hear, like, are you already drinking ketones? Like if you've been drinking them for 2 months, put 2 months. If you have never drank ketones before and you're hopping on here to figure out what all this hype is about, please let me know that too. So we've got Minnesota in the house, Vegas in the house, Kentucky, New Hampshire, Iowa, Washington. This is cool. Jersey. Oh, do we have any Canadians? Yes, we have Canada. This is awesome. So I am a mom of 3. Everyone's having birthdays in the next 1.5 weeks in my house, it seems like. I have an almost 16-year-old, an almost 18-year-old, and a 20-year-old. And 4.5 years ago, I had heard about the keto diet. I don't know how many of you have tried the keto diet. You can put that in the chat. Well, ketones, this is not the keto diet. That is not what we're talking about. But the keto diet, I tried it and it was very, very difficult. But everybody was talking about it because of what ketosis is. And ketosis simply means that you have ketones in your bloodstream. Lori Hart, she said, I tried it. So after trying that hard diet, I found out that you can actually take a packet, looks like this. It's called Ketonat. It is a powder that you can rip open, mix in water and ice, shake it up, comes in all different flavors. They all taste amazing. You can drink it, put ketones into your body without having to do a keto diet. So your body can run off 2 fuel sources, glucose or ketones. And I promise you that most of us have not been running on ketones since we were born. By the way, I'm a little bit geeky on the science. I don't know if you know, but babies are born in a mild state of ketosis. It is our body's native state. Our body loves ketones. Why? Because they give us better energy, better mood, about 30% more oxygen into your brain. You're going to hear some stories tonight and go, wow, okay, so 30% more oxygen into someone's brain means XYZ for them. It's pretty incredible. Better sleep, better appetite control. How many of you, I used to be addicted to the pantry at 9 p.m. Addicted to the popcorn in the evenings, addicted to my kids' candy cabinet. So when I heard that I could simply drink a powder and I didn't have to follow a specific diet, I was skeptical. I don't know if there's someone on here. I was very skeptical, but then I tried it. Before I started drinking ketones, I used to chase energy. I was that mom at 2 p.m. who would reach for the coffee or swing by the Starbucks. I don't know if you can relate. And then at 6, 7 p.m., I was like, honey, can you take over? I want to put my sweats on. I am tired. I couldn't wait for the next day to come. I just seemed like I was always having those squirrel moments. I had just hit my 40s. I'm 45 now. You walk into the garage and you're like, what did I walk into the garage for? Can anybody relate to that? As you get older, your brain just starts like, it doesn't seem like you're 15 anymore, right? So the first week I started drinking ketones, I literally said, first of all, is this legal? Like, is this white powder really legal? Because I had such a night and day experience on the product. Now, for some people, you may feel it the first day. I was one of those people. Other people, it may be day 3, it may be day 5, it may be your 10th day drinking ketones. But the really, really cool thing is every single person who opens a packet of ketones, puts them in water and ice and drinks them will have ketones in their bloodstream. You can prove it, and will have that fuel source. So we're gonna have a couple shares about people's experiences on the product. I went from being that tired mom to having more energy than my teenagers, which I'm sure they couldn't stand, to sleeping like a husband. You know how your husband doesn't even move when the babies cry? Okay, that's how I started to sleep on ketones. And when you sleep better, everything is better. So I don't know if you're sitting on here looking for better energy, better mood, better sleep, better focus, or the best tool to release fat and fat loss. You found it in this product that is backed by studies. If you're into science, we have a TV channel, proveit.tv. Someone will probably put it in the chat. And you can check out all the science. But first, I just want you to hear some of the stories that people have had on the product. I see my friend Amber. What is up? Amber is up in Oregon. You look beautiful, by the way. I know you've been drinking ketones for a little over a year, and I love your story, and I would love for you to share it. We've got 83 people on here now. That's awesome.
Hey guys, hi Jodi. Thanks for inviting me on. I'm super excited to be here. And yes, I am from Oregon. I'm actually a mom of 6. And yes, I've been drinking ketones for a little over a year. Before I started drinking ketones, I actually weighed about 100 pounds more than I do now. And I spent a whole lot of time in bed, just hanging out in bed. I was exhausted, tired, but mostly just really embarrassed to show myself to the world. Like my bed was my safe zone where I just hung out and felt ashamed of who I was. I was tired. I was always sweating. My body hurt. I was uncomfortable. It hurt to go up and down stairs, to get in and out of the car. I was miserable, and I lived this way for like 12 years. A lot of the misery, though, came from feeling guilty. As a mom of 6, when you're just hanging out in your bed and not really functioning well, you feel a lot of guilt. I felt bad that I knew my kids deserved more, but I wasn't able to be the person or the mom that they needed and deserved. And the guilt was really hard to deal with. And that lasted for about 12 years. I wish I could have some of those years back now, but we're moving forward. Since I started drinking ketones, though, everything has changed. I have so much more energy. I don't hang out in my bed unless I'm actually sleeping, which is totally new for me. I wake up in the morning and I've gotten a good night's sleep. I'm ready to go. My body doesn't hurt anymore. And I'm just feeling good. I'm able to function well as a mom. I'm not ashamed anymore. I go to my kids' activities and I'm just proud of who I am. I'm proud of them. And I just feel great. And it's just a wonderful feeling to finally just feel like I'm living my life and being the mom that my kids deserve. So I do have some adult kids that are married, and I'm looking forward to being a grandma soon. I know that's just right around the corner, and it's kind of a scary thought, but I've never really been excited about it because I never thought that I could be like the grandma that got on the floor and played with them, or like they're coming to grandma's house. I'm so excited to go see grandma. Well, I never thought that I could be the grandma that grandkids would be excited about going to see because of lack of energy or lack of ability to play with them. But I'm excited about that now. Like, I'm going to be that grandma that takes the kids like camping and going places. And that's just right around the corner. And I'm looking forward to that so much. I'm so thankful that I gave these ketones a try because literally it's changed my life, my kids' life, and like generations down are going to be impacted by that one choice to try this product. And I'm so thankful that I did. And thank you for the opportunity to share tonight. The more people that I can share with, the more lives that can be impacted. And I'm grateful for that.
Amber, I've never known that you described, but I saw you start to drink the product. I saw you start to transform. I remember I mentioned that your cells have about 30% more oxygen in them. And that is the reason that you had the energy to get off the couch. There's actually some science that shows that ketones release something called GABA in our brains. It makes us feel really happy. It makes us feel good. It's all natural. That's the reason you start to smile more. And as that starts to create that ripple effect with your kids and future generations, I mean, that's literally why I have to share ketones with everyone I meet, because like life wasn't meant to be lived like, oh, this is just my 40s. Oh, this is just what life is like at 50. No, we're here to be the best version of ourselves. And I love that ketones actually can fuel us scientifically as a fuel source better than anything else we can drink. Christina, I see you on here. You have an incredible story on the product too. And you guys are going to hear, as you listen to these stories, they're all going to be a little bit different, but they're all going to be a little bit of the same: a better energy, better mood, better focus, better sleep, best tool for fat loss. So as you listen to Christina, maybe you can, see yourself in her before and her after with drinking the product. So thanks for joining us, Christina.
Yes, thank you for having me. I'm Christina Martinez-Williams. I live in Fort Washington, Maryland, and I have a 5-year-old and a 7-year-old, and am married and have been drinking ketones now for 5.5 years. And actually not quite 5.5, but a little over 5 years. And when I started, I was looking for weight loss, and I was looking for, I thought that's what I thought I was looking for, but I really was looking for fat loss. And I had an 8-month-old and a 2-year-old. So I was in a place in my journey where I had gained a lot of weight from both pregnancies. So much weight that I was the same size as my husband, same weight as my husband. He was sizes less than me, but I was the same weight as my husband. And I was very uncomfortable mentally and physically. I was very uncomfortable in my body and in my clothes. And so I was hiding from myself because I thought this was how it's going to be for a mom of 2 kids, so close in age, and who had gained so much weight with pregnancies and hadn't lost that weight. And so I started to stop looking at myself in the mirror because I thought that, well, people are already asking me, strangers would ask me if I was pregnant still. And I was like, no, my baby's right here. And that's the last one. And it made me feel worse. It made me feel like I already knew how I looked. And so I was hiding from myself. I wouldn't look in the mirror. And I also was hiding from other people in my clothes that were too big, even though I couldn't really wear, was still wearing my maternity clothes. And then I was hiding by putting my girls in front of me in pictures. So I could still have pictures, but I didn't want people to see me. I just wanted to see them with me. And so that was the place that I was at, but I didn't really want to be there, even though I thought I might need to be there. And I coped in those ways. But ever since drinking ketones, and I was really skeptical, I said no for about 9 months before I started drinking them. And then once I did start to drink them, I started to see a shift in my fat loss before I saw any shifts in my weight. And that now has transformed into 34 pounds of fat loss and 10 to 12 pant sizes that I've lost. And now people ask me, instead of asking me what if I'm pregnant, they ask me if I work out all the time and if I lift weights or run all the time, because I have very defined muscles and that are continue to grow, even though I don't do a whole lot extra. I do things, but I don't do a whole lot extra to do that. So I came in for the fat loss. That's happened. I've maintained it for 3 years. I used to yo-yo diet and make sure that I would maintain a swimsuit body for my jobs. And now I don't have to yo-yo diet anymore. It's my lifestyle that I get to maintain. And now it's really about the energy and the focus and the mood that I get to sustain myself throughout my whole day. So I work 2 jobs from home, have a 5 and 7-year-old who are schooling from home, and I get to have the energy and the focus to do all of that and be more patient with them. And then once they go to sleep, I want to get so much more done. And ever since drinking ketones, I've been able to do more and to be able to complete more, even when they're asleep, instead of just crashing after a day of being together and getting everything done. I get to have more energy, more focus to do more and to continue going forward and helping more people do that at the same time as well. So this has been an amazing life changer for my whole family as well. My parents, my brother, my sister-in-law, my husband, we all have been drinking it for more than 5 years and have completely different health and moods and everything else that comes with it.
I love it. And you touched on 2 things I just want to expand on really quick, because I think a lot of people wonder, gosh, okay, there's no magical fat loss potion or pill. There's not. Okay, that's not how ketones work. This is how ketones work. Look, you have 3 macronutrients that you get to choose to fuel your body with. Everything falls into these 3 categories: fats, protein, or carbohydrates, right? Now we enter a 4th macronutrient, This is not fats. It's not carbohydrates. It's not protein. It has a caloric value. It's about 45 to 60 calories a packet. And when you drink, it's science, absolutely, Don. When you drink this macronutrient over the other three, you have more energy. You don't crave carbs and sugar. You're not as hungry. It's muscle sparing. Christina talked about having muscles and people asking her if she's working out. She also talked about losing sizes before the scale showed. And that's the beautiful thing about ketones, because ladies, come on, we all want to lose 5 pounds, but if we're going to lose 5 pounds, we want it to be fat, right? We don't want it to be our hard-earned muscle. And as we age, it's really important to keep that muscle. So I love that you talked about that. It's 100% science. It's not a fad. And this is why ketones are the single best tool for fat loss. It's how my husband of 23 years lost 30 pounds in 4.5, 5 months without him consciously having to go on a diet or start a specific exercise program. So I love that you touched on that. I think that's super, super important. And I am a little bit of a science geek, but speaking of men, a lot of people ask, okay, wait, does this work the same for women as it does for men? Do I have to keep drinking this every single day? And the reason Christina chooses to drink this after years and years, and the reason I do after 4.5 years, and the reason my friend Mitch, you're going to meet him in a second, is still choosing to drink this after, I think, 6 years now, is because it's that better fuel source. It's a better macronutrient than anything else. But Mitch, it's good to see you, buddy. And I have an incredible story on ketones. You're one of the first people that shared their story with me, and I would love for you to share it with everyone here tonight.
Absolutely. Well, welcome everybody. My name is Mitch Newman. I live in Indian Wells, California with my wife, Wendy, and my daughters and our dogs. And I am fully engaged in living with them. And the reason I say that was almost 6.5 years ago, prior to drinking this product, I was physically present in the house, mentally and emotionally absent from everyone. I think including the dogs at that time. But I was just in a challenging place as a baby boomer. I started maybe rationalizing, well, maybe this is just as good as it's going to get. Starting to move, post 50 to 55, and I felt myself going through a slide. Full days of work as a coach, a relationship advisor, became half days. I had zero energy, very little in the tank. I propped myself up on a pot of coffee and would work with clients from 5:30 in the morning until about noon. And once I ate lunch, the rest of the day was what I often referenced as my second job, which was just staying awake. And it was an odd feeling because I was really, really tired all the time, but I really couldn't sleep. There was no depth of sleep. And, my kids would want to go to the park. They'd want to go play. And I would always find a way to say, hey, it rained the other day. It's probably wet at the park. I just found ways, because at that point, you got to realize I was a bit older of a dad. And so I was just feeling myself sliding. So I tried a whole bunch of different things. And when I first started drinking the product, I just got a text message from a friend said, what do you know about ketones or ketosis? And I had done the diet. So I was familiar with the benefits, but I was also familiar with the challenges of staying in a dietary ketosis state and how that limited me in terms of, even from a social standpoint, having to watch everything that you're eating and drinking and consuming, especially when you're out and about and trying to be somewhat social. Well, at that point, social really wasn't on the calendar. I really had zero energy, and it was a really tough time. So when I started drinking the product, and I was a bit skeptical because I didn't really believe at the time that you could drink ketones, because nobody was drinking ketones. The product was brand new to the market. Never before in the history of man or womankind had it existed. So naturally, I was a bit skeptical, but I was also in a way desperate because I couldn't continue to exist the way I was existing. And I just felt that there had to be something better. So I was one of those people who didn't have a one-day experience. I had a 3-gulp experience and couldn't believe what was actually transpiring inside my body. And I had an amazing, amazing day. And at that point, I think I've had 2 days over that 6.5-year period where I have not had the product for reasons when I was actually pretty sick. But other than that, I have this product multiple times a day. It's changed my life physically, mentally, emotionally. I am fully engaged with my wife and my kids, my life, my full days. are my half days became full days plus. And so I've gotten tremendous amount of energy, and I often no longer can tell the story. Well, I guess I'm a baby boomer, and I guess this is as good as it's going to get, because it's gotten, at the time was about how can I get my life back? But the truth is I got a better one. And so I'm proud to say, as a baby boomer, I am officially more boom than baby. So back to you, Jodi.
You say more boom than baby?
You better believe it.
I love it. Well, yes. So I also choose to drink them every single day because I feel incredible. So they work for men, they work for women. We have an awesome free product referral program here. You can be a customer, you get your own link. If you share it with 2 people, you get them free. But what I'm really passionate about is we also have a community here. We have a community of people who are very like-minded, who want to help other people. You hear these stories and it never gets old. I literally could tell you story after story after story over the past 4.5 years that would just blow your mind, like the ones you're hearing tonight. And after I, started drinking ketones, I wanted to get them for free, right? Free tones taste even better. But I was already telling my mom, I was already telling my sister, and then somebody said, hey, we do have a community here. If you want to share them with more people, we have a community. You can become a promoter with Prove It. You can join our community. You can share them with a few people. You can share them with 1 million people. It's up to you. And that intrigued me because I was a stay-at-home mom at the time. I was loving the product, but I was also looking for something that I could do to help bring income into my family. And it really had to be something that I could do from the carpool line in the soccer field at the time in the water polo pool. So that's when I decided to become a promoter with Prove It about 4.5 years ago. And my good friend Jamie is on here to kind of talk about what that looks like, what it looks like to be part of our community. Do you have to have any prior experience or skills or know anything? That's a no. I knew nothing at the time except that I wanted to drink these every single day. But Jamie, thank you so much for hopping on here. Hopefully you're warming up where you live. It was 80 degrees in San Diego today. I'm just saying.
Oh my goodness. Hey, Jodi. About 45 degrees here in New Jersey. So, hey, everybody. My name's Jamie Hill from New Jersey. So glad to be here. So what Jodi said, do you have to have a certain skill set to be a promoter? And she said, no to all of those things. It's so true. So what does it look like to be a promoter? And a little bit about my story. So I started drinking these back in 2019. My girls are 3 and 4 right now, but when I started drinking this, they were less than 1 and barely 2. And I was very fatigued working full time and unable to get on the floor to play with my children, and then unable to get up off of the floor from playing with my children. So drinking them, my product story is that I was able to shed 55 pounds of fat, and that allowed me to have a lot more energy. And I was asked to join this community a lot, very often. And I kept saying no because I thought, I don't have time. This isn't for me. There's no way I can do this. If this resonates with you, type of 1, you know what? I just don't have the time. And, as time went on and I started just simply sharing with people what I was doing, more and more people started asking what I was doing. If you have ever posted about a Starbucks drink before, on your Facebook page, on your Instagram, on anything, oh my gosh, this new pumpkin spice latte is amazing. And your friends are like, oh, what do you get in that? That is network marketing, right? So you are actually doing pretty much what it is to be a Prove It promoter. You being consistent every single day and just sharing, being authentically yourself is just amazing. If you have any questions about being a promoter, text your sponsor right now and just say promoter, so you guys can get caught up after this Zoom call is over and talk about exactly the ins and outs, because we have an amazing system here that we can plug you into, calls just like this to help you get started and help assist you. You are never alone. Yes, Carrie, we love systems. And just like Jodi said, every story that you just heard about the products, these business stories that you're about to hear are all so very different, but are so amazing. And this community is a family that you never knew that you needed. And every story is just you're gonna take something different away. So the first one that I wanna start out with is my friend, Dawn Allen. Dawn, can you share with us what this amazing community has done for you?
Hey guys, can you hear me okay?
Okay, awesome. So what's up, everybody? My name is Dawn. I hope everybody had an awesome holiday weekend and you're hearing all these amazing stories of what ketones are doing. So you're probably feeling bloated and fat from eating all of the bad stuff. So definitely buy all the ketones so that you feel way better before you get into Christmas. So I was actually introduced to ketones 6 years ago. November or October 30th was when I took my first serving. And I don't know if anybody here has ever struggled with dark mood challenges. We got to be careful what we say on these calls, but I was in a really, really, really dark place whenever I was introduced to this product. A friend of mine had shared that ketones had been proven to help a lot of people with PTSD. There was a lot of science and research. So I was skeptical, but I was open. I had been trying to do the ketogenic diet, but like many people you've heard on the call tonight, I was also not able to get into a state of ketosis. So the idea of being able to drink ketones and get into ketosis, and I had tried the keto diet for like a month and wasn't successful, I was optimistically skeptical. I guess that's like a good definition. So, but I was open-minded enough to give it a shot. And so that's going to be my number one encouragement if you're a guest on the call tonight, is be open-minded enough to at least give this a try. Like you literally have nothing to lose. And so I did. I tried it, and I was one of those first dose experienced people. I noticed the energy right away. And as I continued to drink the product over the course of the next 10 days, I noticed a huge increase in my mood, a significant increase in just mental clarity, a decrease in appetite, which was a big win because I was an emotional eater and I struggled a lot with just binge eating and just using food as a crutch for my emotions. I noticed that I was sleeping better, and I did manage to release 6 pounds and 14 inches of fat in those first 10 days. And really, truly just didn't think about what I was eating. I literally drank ketones, listened to my body, ate when I was hungry. I didn't do a keto diet. I just really, prioritized proteins and ate when I was hungry. I kind of organically intermittent fasted. And that was kind of the introduction to the product. I've since been on the product, like I said, 6 years, have managed to keep anywhere from 38 to 40 pounds off and sustained. But the community's changed my life. When I was introduced to the business, I was not looking for a business. I was actually already participating in another business, but I wasn't happy there. My check was going down. And I just saw the timing of the opportunity and the value of the conversation, and just the community was different than anything that I had seen in this type of a business model. I was also needing the income. I was $160,000 in debt to the IRS. So I was definitely needing something that would work, and just decided to go all in. So we have been sharing ketones now for that 6 years, and we've tapped and changed tens of thousands of people's lives over the course of that time. I'm currently debt-free. I have real estate investments. I have a really gnarly portfolio, and have been able to actually help a lot of other people get a hold of their finances and stuff too. So I could sit here and talk for hours on what this community and what this product has done for me and so many other people, but you've got to experience it yourself. So definitely don't wait. There's a really good sale happening right now too.
Awesome, Dawn. Thank you so much. I think I'm going to take the quote gnarly portfolio and start using that too. So thank you for that. What I heard there was helping others. And I think that's so important, and such an integral part of our community is helping others. And you don't realize that by joining this, you guys will get hundreds of new best friends. And when we get to plug in together, and even better, when we get to see each other face to face, we are a force, and we leave seeing each other just better people. And I've seen us get together as communities and just leave totally different people. And it's just so amazing to be a part of this. Thank you so much for sharing, Dawn. Up next, we're going to hear from Jennifer. Are you here, Jennifer?
I'm here. Can y'all hear me? Yay, awesome. Okay, I am Jennifer from Texas. So I got introduced to the product a little bit different. My friend introduced the business side to me first, versus the what I probably needed the most, which was the energy. So she called me on day one of her trying it. She was like, "Oh my God, if this stuff is legal, like this is something we've never gotten our hands on, and this is about to blow up. And I'm like, I'm good. I don't want to do anything new. I'm good. She called me day 2 and day 3. I told her no every day. And finally she convinced me. And I was like, okay, I'll join. I'm going to do it. I'll do it with you. So 5 days later, I finally got my hands on one packet, because I had to meet her in a parking lot in a dark alley. I'm sure a lot of y'all got started that way. And get a packet of ketones from her. What I tell you, the next morning, I lit up like never before. I have twin girls and a son. And if I would have had this product when my girls were babies and when Fuller was easy, so I can't even complain about him, but the twins, holy moly, they were insane. So if I would have had this product back then, it would have been a lifesaver. But what I didn't know is that twin girls are extremely expensive. So whenever, diapers, formula, all that stuff, yes, expensive, but let me help you. Whenever they started getting into like dance and all their extracurricular activities, it was double everything. And then they got into competitive dance. So in came where she was able to convince me on day 3 that I needed this business. And thank God I did, because if I had not joined this business, I would not be able to afford for my kids to do what they're doing now. The girls do competitive dance. It cost us like $20-something thousand a year just for competitive dance for them. My son plays competitive soccer. Like, there's no way in the world we would be able to do this just on a normal income. So I thank God every day that my friend called me and bugged me for 3 days to have that, but plus save me as a mom, just in general. So if any of these stories have you like maybe thinking, yeah, that's me, I'm not tired mom, or I'm not mom that could use a little extra for the extracurricular activities. Like, it's right before Christmas. Last night I have a flat tire. It ends up being a bent rim, which is going to be like $400 to replace. And I have 4 clogged commodes in my freaking house. Anybody else right now would freak out. Like, normal everyday job, I wouldn't have had this budgeted in. I've got to buy Christmas presents. And I don't have to worry because I had a few bonuses from Prove It that are going to cover all of that. So there's so many amazing bonuses that they're giving us right here before Christmas. There's such good deals on the starter packs. Text, message, whatever you need to do, get with the promoter that added you, the friend that invited you to this call, and let them know, hey, like so-and-so resonated with me. I need to do this.
Thank you so much. What I heard there from Jennifer was peace of mind. She was able to have the flat tire during the holiday season and go, oh, wait, like, it's covered. That's awesome. So if any of you are sitting here thinking like, oh, I haven't tried the product yet, I'm not sure if I can just jump into the business, there's a story right there. She just had her friend loving on her for a couple of days saying, you've got to join me, because the belief was there. What we have in this product is amazing, but this business is changing people's everyday lives. And speaking of that, we're going to hear from Coach Bekah, and I believe her husband's next to her, Mr. McCarthy. So we're going to hear their amazing business story. And before she comes on and talks, I just want to say, I heard this story back in October. It was my first event gathering with this community in Breckenridge, Colorado. And this story is one that stuck with me and stuck with my heart. So this story, just listen to this and take in all the feelings of this, because it truly is so inspiring. So, hey, Coach Bekah, how are you?
What's up, sis? This is amazing. I love seeing all the faces on here. So yes, Coach Bekah, live in New Hampshire. This is my husband, Jesse. We just got married in August. We're newlyweds, y'all, and we're just living the dream. It's amazing. Retired him at 27 years old because of this opportunity. Really cool. So my story goes like this. I also didn't have a product experience when I started this business, but what I did have was I watched somebody else's story for 8 or 9 months prior to landing myself in a position. I had a background in fitness and nutrition. I had a fitness business where I was personal training, and around the holiday season, people were not buying personal training packages because they were spending money on things like gifts and, their families. And, in New Hampshire, you have to buy heating fuel, which is expensive. And so it left me in a place to not be able to pay for my heating fuel. And so I was a single mom. My son and I, we had to put on our jackets and we could see our breath in the house. I told him I didn't know how long it was going to be until we got heat. And so my best friend, that handsome son of a gun, Carrie Wynn, who's on here somewhere, he had reached out to me prior to and tried to share ketones with me. And I was like, that's one of those things that's cool for you, but not for me. I have a real business. And so when I found myself in this position of needing $400 like yesterday, I called him and I was just venting to him as a friend. And he said, hey, there's an opportunity here to make money if you want it. And I said, what do I have to lose? I was in a position where I needed money yesterday. I didn't have any money to invest, you guys. So like, if that's something that you're worried about, you can get started here without any risk or overhead. Don't have to worry about that. And I went to work. I had high directive coaching. I started reaching out to people and sharing his story because I didn't yet have one. And I started drinking ketones daily myself. And what ended up happening was I made 7.5 times the amount of money in that first 30 days that I needed. And I was like, wow, there's really something here. And so because I did that work in the first 30 days, I continued to get paid, right? So for the first year of me being with Prove It, I was not all in yet. And I still made enough money to keep me off of food stamps. I was government assisted for 10 years with my son. And that was the first year that I didn't have to go and get food stamps to put food on my table. And so that was a huge win for me. And then COVID came around. And so I couldn't do my personal training again. And so I was able to go all in with this business, and it's allowed me to bring in an income that is 3 or 4 times the amount of my cost of living, be able to pay for my entire wedding with cash, pay for it cash. I now get to stay home. I'm going to be pulling my son from public school and homeschooling him. And all because I found myself in a position where I was scared. I did it scared, but somebody said that there's an opportunity here to make money if you want it. And so I want to just let you know that that same opportunity is here for you tonight. And so there's a few different ways to get started and join us. And there's a few different type of people who are on this call. If you got invited to this call, you have no idea why you're here. Welcome. Thank you for spending time with us. There's some people who are gonna be like, this is not for me. Thanks, but no thanks. But maybe you know somebody who this information could benefit. And we love referrals. So send the names over to the person who invited you, right? The other way is to maybe grab a box of ketones and start drinking them and try it out for yourself. Right? We have a 33% off sale going on right now. You can grab those ketones, see how you feel, test drive the product for yourself, and then link arms with a couple people, see if they'll try it with you as well. Somebody, Jodi, I think, mentioned getting ketones for free. I paid for my initial box of ketones. I've never paid for another one. So try to get your ketones for free. And then the third person who's on here is somebody who hears the value in this conversation and how you can impact the world. We make an ripple impact by sharing this conversation with education, right? And so maybe you want to link arms with us, and we would love to have you join us. Our business packs are also 33% off tonight. So text whoever invited you here. Let them know if you're option 1, 2, or 3, and get in where you fit in. Like I said, I didn't have money to start. So if that's you, don't be afraid. There's an option here for everyone. So super grateful for this community, this opportunity, and for my good friend, Jamie Hill. Love ya.
Oh my goodness, what a story, Coach Bekah. And thank you for running through all of those amazing sales for us and the options to go back to your sponsor and have a conversation of which option you are. So again, I started this with a 5-day trial. I said no to this opportunity for 5 months. When I finally said yes to joining this business and community, was able to quit my full-time job, purchase my dream home, and now I'm able to stay home with my babies and homeschool them as well. My husband and I paid off a ton of debt, And my only regret is that I did not say yes sooner. So if you're sitting on here going, oh, I don't know if I can do this, just know if you are hungry for this and you are ready to rock and roll, text your sponsor and they will help coach you through this. I believe in you. I want to thank everybody for their stories. And I'm going to turn this over to my friend Jodi.
I love it. I mean, what Angela just said in the chat, for my first night here, this is amazing and feels like family already. Like, look, I don't know if you're looking for the product. I don't know if you're looking for the community, for the friendships. I can tell you that some of my best friends I've met through this community. I think people do need people. And I don't know if you're looking for the income. I don't know if you're like Coach Bekah, who needed that extra $400. I had to just called our church to ask for a scholarship for my kids to go to church camp before I found this opportunity. And that was really, really humbling for me. And then the next year, you know what, I sent all my kids to that church camp and I helped some other kids go. So I don't know what it is you're kind of looking for, but it's pretty awesome to know that the #1 Googled health word right now is still keto. People don't know that they can drink ketones. This is not a protein shake. This is not something that's in the store shelves. This is not something you can get anywhere else, by the way. We hold the patents to the only bioidentical ketones on the market. That matters, because if you're drinking something that says ketones and it's not bioidentical, your body can't use it. So I saw some questions in the chat. These are the only bioidentical ones. So very, very awesome. Timing is everything. I don't know about you guys, but in my 45 years of life, I've missed a few boats. One of them might have been Bitcoin. I'm just saying. So timing is everything. If you're even on the fence about trying, just drink the product, be that skeptic like I was, start getting them for free. Once you order, it's 33% off right now, you guys. Once you order, you have your own customer link. Send it to your sister and your neighbor. Send it to your best friend and your brother. They can grab it on the sale and you're already working towards getting free product, the 2 people. But timing is everything. There's never been a better time to talk about feeling better, having more energy, getting fat loss, being happier. The time is now. So thank you guys so much for everybody who contributed and shared on the call. I just love you guys so much and I love your hearts. And for everybody who took time out of their Monday night, like, thank you. Please get back to the person who invited you. If you want more science, say, I want more science. If you want more information on how you can start as a promoter, by the way, you profit on your startup as a promoter. I was profitable in 2 days, and it's a really cool way to do it. So if you're curious, say, want more information on being a promoter. If you want free product, let them know. If you want to get invited to another call like this, or invite your friends so you can start getting free product, let that person know. But thank you guys all so much. Love you. Have a very blessed night. See you soon.